let me make one thing abundantly clear to all of you listening. We have resolved to die for what we believe in. And our belief is simple, very, very simple, that we are going to defend the land of Biafra with all our might. Not in pursuit of secession, as the idiots would say, but in pursuit of the defense of our land so that our mothers can go to the farm without the risk of being raped and torn to pieces. Some of you saw what happened at Uli. How a very beautiful young Biafran lady went to the farm and never came back. She was not only raped, her body was mutilated, cut into pieces and strewn all across her farmland. None of you did anything. Nnamdi State governor did nothing. Instead, he went along to appoint the same people that committed such heinous crime against the land itself into his cabinet. These are the idiots we are having to contend with in the land of Biafra. And we are saying enough is enough. If you're part of this very conspiracy to emasculate the children of God, to destroy Biafra land, then you are grossly mistaken. I know that the Fulani Janjaweed are not highly educated, they are not polished, they are not discerning, they cannot reason very well. Let me make this very, very clear. The Eastern Security Network is what it is.
All right, so at this point, I'm sure you must have believed when we say that Nnamdi is one of the greatest prophets. I'm sure you will believe that you have no doubt, because you must have seen, and even if you have not seen, you must have heard his prophecies and how it came to pass. That when Nnamdi opens his mouth and says you are going to die, all you need to do is just to go and kneel down and start praying that God will accept your soul in heaven. And when Nnamdi opens his mouth to say you will live, all you need to do is just go and begin to plan how you live the rest of your life. Oh yes, Nnamdi is not just a man, he's a great prophet. Now in this video, we are going to see more evidence to prove what we are saying. In this video, we are going to watch some of the prophecies he prophesied about each state in Nigeria, starting from Benue State. There is a prophecy that Nnamdi gave years back about Benue State. Today, what is happening? I'm going to allow you to watch it. Not only Benue State, he gave some prophecies about some other states in the eastern region. And today, those prophecies are what? Very clear. They are coming to pass clearly. In this video, you are going to watch it. And then after watching it, then you drop your comment. You call him a great prophet because indeed he is. He deserves your praise. Praise him. Oh yes. I know all praise goes to God, but praise him for what God is doing through him. Nnamdi is one of the greatest prophets. Please watch this video and also don't forget to pray for him because he needs your prayer. Watch this video.
This is why the likes of Governor Autumn or the very young man who was mouthing his rubbish a day or two ago concerning the deployment of Eastern Security Network into Lower Benue is in for a very, very difficult and horrible experience of their lives.
Today, and it's normal as a farmer, I usually go to my farm. So I went to my farm along Boko Road, and on our way back, we started hearing some gunshots. We discovered people who were dressed in black. And from our experience, it was very clear that these are Fulani militia men, bandits. And I do not want to take things for granted, because a few days ago, the media were awash with the communique or the statement from the Fulani Mayatiala, who met in Yola. That is where they met in 2006 and decided that they must take Nigeria as their country and every other person living here must be slave. That was why they started infiltrating the entire country. And they came out with a statement. I was alarmed, singling me out as the only person who is creating problems for the entire Fulani race in this country. It was quite disturbing. And behind the scene, I also heard that in the meeting, I was targeted for elimination. This was the information I got. And they will go after me, whether in my home or in my farm or wherever they get me. And this is not the first time. I had intelligence before that these people said they were going to kill my security aides and then capture me alive and give me gradual killing. But like I always say, my life is in the hands of God. It's not in the hands of any Fulani man or anybody whatsoever. And I still remain firm. I will fight for truth, justice, equity, and fairness till when God permits that I should not be here again. Then I can go. But it's only God that can permit my exit on this earth. Not any Fulani man. I want to say it boldly. They have no right. They will continue to fail just like they did today. I appreciate the security personnel attached to me. They were able to repel them, and they could not have access to me. And thank God for my fitness to have run for more than 1.5 kilometers without stopping. It means that God has given me strength, and I'm grateful to God. And I want to say a quote from Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said, "If peace means keeping my mouth shut in the midst of injustice and evil, I don't want peace. If peace means willingness to be exploited, economically, dominated politically, humiliated and segregated, I don't want peace." Martin Luther King Jr. This is what he said. And I stand with him. I'm not going to subject myself to intimidation of anyone whatsoever. I don't have problems with any Fulani man or Fulani race, but I have problems with Fulani bandits who have vowed to take over Nigeria as their ancestral home. And I say no. Not when I'm here and when I am governor leading my state. I'm not concerned about other states. Other states who want to give their land and give themselves to be slaves to these Fulani men, I have no problem with them. But my own state, I have consulted with my people, and what I'm doing is in line with the wish of my people. On that I stand. I have not infringed on anybody's right. My lawyer is here. He's going to extend a petition against the leadership of Fulani herdsmen, or whatever you call them, Meyatiala, because they came out to target me, and behind the scene, they have planned to eliminate me, and I'm seeing that on my own land. If I can't go to the farm as governor with the entire security around me, then who else can go to farm? You can imagine the pains that we have here in Benue State. Thank God for Mr. President, who responded to my letter that anyone with AK-47 should be shot at sight. I'm yet to see that. Let me see it happening in Benue State. I have reported this to the security agencies, and I hope that this will be done, so that the land will be safe for our people to go back to farm and do their work and survive and live their life. Here in Benue State, we are not against Fulani men. We are not against Hausa, Igbo. any tribe, even white people. We are ready to provide land for ranching. That is what the law says. I don't know what this set of Fulani men who come from Niger, from Mali, from Chad, from Senegal, from other parts of the world, they have destroyed Mali completely. Nothing is happening there. They have destroyed Libya. They have destroyed several African countries with their aggression and think that they will come here and destroy Nigeria. I don't know what they mean. We are not against Fulani people who legitimately want to do their business here, including cattle rearing, but you must ranch. That is the law. And we are in a democratic era, and democracy is anchored on the rule of law. I don't know why people will come from somewhere and think that they will not obey the laws of the land. If everybody will take that, if all of us decide to be lawless, if all of us decide to take guns and go after people or our perceived enemies, there will be lawlessness, there will be anarchy, and who knows what will happen. I want to call on Mr. President, I want to call on the security agencies to fish these people out. They are in the forest between Makudi and Abinti. They are living there, and they are coming out to commit atrocities, evil, rape women, kill our people, maim them, destroy our farmlands, and do all this. And anytime our livestock God go after them, our security agencies go, they run back to the forest, across the river. This is not fair. I'm going to make a petition against the leadership of Miyetti Allah, because they are responsible for making arrangements to try to eliminate me. But I want to assure them that until God permits, they cannot. They cannot do that, because I have not committed any crime. I have not done any evil against anyone. Throughout my more than 40 years political experience, I have not injured anyone with a pin, talk less of knife. I have not done it, because that is not the way to go. In my pursuit for power, I've always known that power belongs to God, and He giveth it to whosoever He will. And that is it. And so I don't know why these people think wherever they are getting their destiny. But up to today, I've been calling for the arrest of these people since 2017. And they are going about their normal business in Abuja, in Yola, in Kano, everywhere, without security men inviting them for questioning. And the worst thing that pains me is these people are protected by our Nigerian security men, our taxpayers' money, our security men that are inadequate because of the crisis caused by this Miyetti Allah. And the police are still protecting them. What is the reason? Are we second-class citizens? I'm not second-class citizen to anyone in this country. I pay tax just like any other person, and I'm law-abiding, and I hope that the security agencies will question these people, why they should single me out in their Yola meeting and behind the scene giving orders for me to be eliminated, and I have seen the result today. If not for the security personnel that were with me, I don't know, maybe I would have been a story. So that is it, but I'm going to make a petition to the president and to the security agencies for the leadership of Miyetti Allah to be arrested. They have no right. What they are doing is not correct, and government must not fold its hands. I believe in the unity of this country, and I'm not against anyone. I'm not fighting anyone, but I'm fighting for the right of the people that elected me. I'm fighting for justice, equity, and fairness, and I cannot compromise that one. And the law prohibiting open grazing in Benue State can never be reviewed We're not going to do that. I've consulted with my people, and my people say that it will never be reviewed. On that we stand. Rather, if we're reviewing it, we are going to put more stringent conditions attached to it. For instance, the payment of fine on heads of cattle that are arrested in Benue State. So nobody should think about that. And come to think of it, I remain a solution to the problem that have bedeviled this country as far as herdsmen and farmers crisis is concerned. Since 2016, I've been propagating ranching as the global best practice. And that is where we are today. Pessimism and skeptics who never accepted it, today they're accepting it. People who came out openly and attacked me, today they have laid the same bill to their houses of assembly to have ranches all over the place. And that is the only solution. So why have I become a problem? By finding a solution to a problem that is existing, and government is not able to come out to make pronouncement or legislate to ensure that we all live in peace. How am I a problem? Let them come and tell the whole world. Let them tell me. And I have always said that, look, if you disagree with me, tell me the other option that is superior to the one that I have brought on the table. Up to today, nobody has said it. I challenge all Nigerians. I challenge all Fulani men who are against me. I challenge Nigerians who are against me. Come out and tell me if there is another solution to ensure peace for farmers and herdsmen, and not just farmers and herdsmen and the people. Tell me, so that if it is superior to providing ranching for cattle rearing, then we can follow you. But it is clear to me that the issue of herdsmen in Nigeria, especially the Fulani men, it is just a camouflage. The agenda is to take over the land, and they have said it. I'm quoting them. It is in the media. They have said Nigeria is the only country that belongs to them. They will take over, and everybody will be slave. And I won't be a slave to any Fulani man. That is the point. Count me out. And they treat people, the Benue people will not be slaves. And we're not going to catch other people to be slaves to us. Live and let's live. Democracy, freedom for everybody. Everybody should be free to express himself, to associate with everybody and do your business. That is all. I don't know why. And I want to commend my colleague in Ekiti State, who came out yesterday clearly as the chairman of our governors forum to say that this government have failed. It's not about APC or PDP or anything. This is not politics. My respect to my chairman, governors forum. That is the truth. The Bible says you shall know the truth and the truth will set you free. And so for him as an APC member to come out and say this, because if it were another governor from another party or myself coming, they will say we are playing politics. But Fayemi came out clearly and said that this government has failed. Providing security, this need. Everybody is running all over the place. Traditional rulers, governors, politicians. If I'm not safe in my own state, then who else is safe in Benue State? That is the question I'm asking. This is a painful aspect. So it is very serious. I appreciate President Buhari for coming out to give the shoot outside order with people carrying AK-47. That is one. I appreciate him for coming out to also say that the border in Nigeria should be strengthened. That is the second point I raised in my letter. There are other 10 points that are still pending. Let him address all these ones too, because if he wants this country to be together and ensure peace for all those issues must be addressed. All these issues of kidnapping and all that are brought here by Fulani men. Nobody should shy away from saying it is bandits without calling those Fulani men. Yeah, we have two people who are criminals. Ghana was a criminal. We never shared away from him. He was a thief man. There are still criminal elements within the state. And they are T people, they are Idoma criminal elements. We know them, so we shouldn't shy away from them. Why should we not talk about Fulani bandits who are terrorizing everybody in the forest, and now they are here, and even inviting Boko Haram to join them to create problems here for us. So it is clear there's no other person, and they have not hidden it. They have come out to say that yes, they were brought in, so the people should settle them. We are begging the federal government, if they brought them, they should settle them to go back to where they came from, so that we can have our peace. What kind of a thing is it? Even if it means taxing all of us to settle them to go away, so that we can go to farm. If I can't go to farm, who else can go to farm in Benue State? So that is the challenge. Thank you very much.
Sir, about what time did the incident occur? And we were there, was anyone injured in your convoy?
This was around 11 o'clock. 11 a.m. Nobody was injured. Like I said, my security men took them up and were able to repel them. So they went back. As I talk to you, Operation Wise Stroke is on them. The police are there, the SS are there, all the security. We have to call for reinforcement. But thank God we were able to escape unhurt.
For a follow-up question, I wanted to know if by hindsight you know the number.
I can't identify, but the ones I see at a glance, I can see that there were more than 15 that came after us.
Benue State, that is why the likes of Governor Autumn or the very young man who was mouthing his rubbish a day or two ago concerning the deployment of Eastern Security Network into Lower Benue is in for a very, very difficult and horrible experience of their lives. I must warn also Governor Autumn of Benue State. I am not laying claim to Benue State, the entirety of Benue State, not at all. What I'm making very clear to you is that there are Igbo people, Igbo communities, not traders, not migrants, not settlers, no. These are our traditional towns, communities and villages wickedly gerrymandered into the north. That you have Igbo people today answering Igbo names, speaking Igbo language, who are answering to Northerners. An abomination before God Almighty in heaven. I will not allow it to continue. Those Igbo speaking parts of Benue State is part and parcel of Biafra. Part and parcel of the eastern region. And should anything happen to them, if you fail to control Fulani incursion into that very territory, then ESN will continue to do their work. And I have commended them earlier and allow me to do so again at this very moment. I commend the men and women, not just of our high command, but also of the Eastern Security Network that successfully pursued and apprehended a notorious Fulani bandit by the name Muhammad Isa. We have the videos. For those of them claiming he's an old man, they're all lying, and they know it very well. He is the leader of a gang of abductors, of rapists, and of murderers, tormenting our farming communities. But I'm glad to report this very evening, morning or night, depending on where you are, that that menace, that threat has been permanently put to bed. It will no longer happen. Should our people in Benue State be subjected to further attacks, I am also informing Governor Autumn of Benue State. I will make sure that ESN returns to that very area. Or should I say, come out of the bushes to confront whoever comes against the children of the Most High God, Elohim in heaven. This is a warning to all of you. For those of you that specialize, should I say, in twisting the obvious, in turning truth into lies, I never claimed the whole of Benue State. You people carved Igbo people into Benue, which is unacceptable. We are in an era, not that of the old, compromised and discredited Ohaneze Ndiara and Ndiuchu. Not in that very era. No, we are not in that anymore. We are not in the era of compromised governors in the pocket of the Fulani Caliphate. No. We are now in the era of IPOB. And no inch of territory belonging to traditional, should I say, ethnicities making up Biafra will be surrendered to anybody. No. And in Benue State, we have taught them, while they were discussing that, don't come to Benue, we are already on the ground in Benue State, in Lower Benue. And we are not in Benue State that doesn't belong to us. We are in Igbo parts of Benue State, Igbo communities of Benue State. And we are there to defend them, and that is precisely what we are going to do, and nobody is going to discourage us otherwise. We are making it very clear today that the Eastern Security Network is on the ground. We are on the ground in Benue State, and in every part of Biafra land for that matter. We are in Cross River, we are in Akwa Ibom, we are in Bayelsa. Everywhere it is happening. Anywhere we confront Fulani headsmen, these terrorists, we will drive them away. Be rest assured, we are not going to rest one iota until our farmlands, our homes, and our forests are secure. What is happening in Yoruba land cannot happen in Biafra land. Nobody, no idiot can come from anywhere to claim any inch or parcel of Biafran forest. It is not doable. Instead, we all die there. That is why I am making this presentation live, at least for those of you who may be able to come over on Instagram, that I am on Instagram and I'm live. If you want to see a live video of this very broadcast, it is there. You can and should be able to see it. Anywhere in Biafra land we confront Fulani terrorists, we shall meet them head on. We know that they are part of the police and the army. Danjuma himself, General T.Y. Danjuma himself, testified before the British Parliament that the army of Nigeria and the police are colluding in the conquest of indigenous populations in Nigeria. And we are no exception to that very horrible and sinister conspiracy. The police we have in our land are terrorists in uniform. The army we have in Biafra land are basically terrorists. They are there to aid and to support Fulani Janjaweed advancement to the Atlantic Ocean. And we are there to stop them, and we are stopping them and will continue to stop them. A few days ago, as I said, we embedded our men and women of the Northern Command of Eastern Security Network. When we said Northern Command, people were confused. Biafra land is a nation. We have Northern Biafra, we have Central, we have the South, which is the coastal region, we have the East, and we have the West. When I talk about the Northern Command, I'm talking about the northern part of Biafra land, which incidentally starts from Benue State. So we are right to be there. If you don't want us to be in Benue State, quietly go back to Abuja and appeal to them. Tell them to release Igbo people in Benue and carve them back into Ebonyi State, where they should belong, or Enugu State, as the case may be. Therefore, anybody, you know, one thing about Nigeria is that they tend to defend the aggressor. It is in the DNA in Nigeria to always support evil. That is why this very newspaper publication, I don't have a means of putting it here on Instagram where I am broadcasting live, where you can see my face and my facial expression, but it will be on my Facebook page. If you go there, you will see it. This publication was made on January 23 of 2021, this very year. It is a front page news by Vanguard. I want you to understand how an average Nigerian thinks, how they reason, why I think that Nigeria itself is a curse upon humanity. There on the front page, you will see, we will kill all policemen and take over Edo State. Fulani Janjaweed, those they claim are foreigners. These people they told us are foreigners. They come from Mali, from Senegal, from Gambia, from heaven knows where, from Niger, from Chad, from Northern Cameroons. But they are in Nigeria, killing people. After killing us, they will not turn around and tell us to absorb them into our communities. That is why anybody, any Igwe, any PG, any greedy, avaricious fool, stupid enough to give any of our land to Fulani Janjaweed, you are finished. There was a man in Enugu that tried the same nonsense. Go and ask him where he is today. We take no prisoners. You see, the land of Biafra must be defended at all cost. At all cost. It is the land of God, given to his children for their eternal habitation. We may have failed in the past to recognize this very fact, but now that this generation has come, There is nothing anybody can do to stop us from restoring the kingdom of God upon the face of this very earth in the land of Biafra, without apologies to anybody. I understand that the Sarikin Fulani of Lagos went to see the US ambassador to Nigeria in Lagos a few days ago. And according to the message, or should I say information coming out of the US mission, they said is to foster cohabitation and unity, that diversity is strength. And I want to lay that particular nonsensical narrative to bed tonight before I continue any further. Anybody telling you about strength in diversity, that person is a liar and a deceiver. And the US ambassador is a liar and a deceiver. One thing they don't teach we Africans is this: no country exists on a foundation of multiculturalism. There is nowhere in the world. Listen to me very carefully. All this nonsense, even the crap that Coca was coming up with, telling you about diversity is our strength and all that rubbish. Allow me to repeat, there is no country on this earth that survives on a foundation or a bedrock of multiculturalism. It doesn't exist. That is why multiculturalism in Africa is dead on arrival. It can never work, because we are tribal beasts by nature. We are tribal by nature. That is why we travel from wherever we are during New Year's, during Christmas, during Easter, during New Year festival, to go back home where we come from, because that is where we identify with. Now let me ask the US ambassador a very simple question. Is United States of America a multicultural society? US that was created and built by Western Europeans. US was created, should I say, created by God, of course, built by Western Europeans, mostly English people that was fed up with the way of life of the English monarchy. They went to America on Mary Rose. I want to ask the US ambassador, I want to teach Africans what they don't know this evening. There is no country that functions on this multi-ethnic rubbish nowhere in the world, not even the USA, that was created by people who are not indigenous to America. The owners of the soil of America are Native American Indians. That is a fact of life. God gave America to Western Europe to develop, and gave them a special grace to be the beacon and the light and the conscience of the world. Because God knew that if he had left all these wonderful people in Europe, they would become contaminated. He removed them from Europe, sent them to America, built a wonderful nation as a shining light and a beacon for the whole world to look up to. Even that America that was built from scratch by people who are not indigenous to the land is not multicultural. Why am I saying this? America was founded on the principles of Judeo-Christian, Greco-Roman, democratic value systems. I repeat, America is not multicultural. They accommodate other races and other nations. Yes, they can accommodate you. But where you're coming into, the bedrock, the foundation of America is based on Judeo-Christian principles, Greco-Roman political ideology, which is republicanism. America is not multicultural. America is Western Europe. The value systems of Western Europe, Judeo-Christian, Greco-Roman, Republican governance. Had America been a multicultural society, they would have space for Sharia. I'm now addressing the US ambassador to try to tell them to stop deceiving people. We are educated, we went to school for a reason. We are enlightened and we have our brain intact. There is no country on this earth that runs on this wishy-washy multiculturalism. It doesn't happen. What you have are established order and value systems upon which various cultures can now coexist. If you go to America, you coexist under the provisions of the United States Constitution. And the US Constitution is a Christian constitution, not Islam. America is not multicultural, but under that bedrock of liberty and egalitarianism, you allow other cultures to come in But first of all, they must swear allegiance to or take an oath to uphold the Constitution of the USA. That is something that the US ambassador never told the Janjaweed that went to visit her. The same way that Nigeria cannot function as a viable entity. Wole Soyinka knows what I'm talking about. I'm even sure somebody who claims he's learned, as Bishop Coker is, understands what I'm talking about. No country on this earth. The value system of the state of Israel is based on Judaic principles. The value system of Russia is entirely theirs, it's based on theirs. It's the Russian way of doing things from times of the Tsar. If you go to Saudi Arabia, it is essentially a Sharia Islamic state. You can live there, no problem. You can build your churches if you want. I think they've Nazareth to allow churches to be built. But it is never a multicultural society. Japan is not a multicultural society. China is not. They can accommodate you, but that doesn't mean they have this is the type of nonsense they feed Africans, and we fall for that very gimmick of multiculturalism. At the end of the day, you end up with a useless contraption like Nigeria. You don't have any value system that anybody anywhere can define. If I talk about the USA, I can talk about hamburger in the USA. We can talk about, what else do they have in the USA? Hamburger, you can talk about, what's it called? What are the traditional dishes? Apple pie and all the rest of it. You can say that these are American dishes. If you go to the UK, you can talk about maybe mashed potato and bangers and mash, which is sausage and mashed potato as their national meal. That's understandable. But I ask you, if you come to Nigeria, what is the national dish of Nigeria? Does a Fulani Janjaweed eat ofe egusi, where we come from? Does an Igbo man eat a wedu soup? The answer is no. So on what basis is all this so-called multicultural foundation going to be laid upon? On what? We are not one people. We may be black, we may be Africans, but we're not one people. Not even one religion. If Britain cannot stay in an EU that is entirely Christian, EU is entirely Christian. Britain left. Nigeria, you don't know if Nigeria is Christian or in fact is Islamic. So for me to accept the multiculturalism being preached by the US ambassador, I have to embrace Islam as my religion. That's what it means. And some of you get taken in by all this rubbish. And I feel sorry for you. Yeah, sometimes when I say this, I'm being very arrogant. If you are educated, you will understand that no nation is multicultural. They allow other cultures to come in. It doesn't mean they're multicultural. They have a viable space where multicultural ideas or identities can thrive. But the foundation has to be monolithic. It has to be one dominant value system and ideology. That's how it is all over the world. Don't let anybody fool you otherwise. That is the same reason why you have this anomaly. In a so-called republic, you have royal fathers in a republic. Because you are trying to shuffle multiculturalism. You are trying to marry the feudal system of the north, the monarchical system of the west, and the republican system in the east, to marry them into one. And what you have is entirely rubbish, and that is why Nigeria can never work. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. Competing value systems. Nobody wants their own value system to be subsumed under another person's value system. This is something that the US ambassador never told you. But here I am telling you today. Because if you come here, you become educated. If you come here, you become enlightened. If you come here, you stop being a zoo animal, you become a human being. That is why we are the largest and, of course, the most consistent broadcasting platform insofar as Africa is concerned, right across the world. Millions listen to us because they know we preach the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. That is why this very day, because you are in one Nigeria, in multiculturalism, the army will come to Olo to defend Fulani Janjaweed living in our forests. We went to Olo to defend our people. They came, they arrested the clerics. Men of God, they arrested all of them. How many times have you heard that imams were being arrested in the north? Or that villages were being invaded in the north and imams being arrested? Only in Biafra land. And this is your multiculturalism. This is a place where you want all of us to stay, somehow to pretend that all is well when we know that it is not. In that same Nigeria is where Fulani headsmen openly boast about conquest. Benue State is one. That is why I feel sorry for the idiots talking rubbish from Benue. They came and they made the same bold claim on Edo State. And I quote, "We will kill all policemen and take over Edo State." Vanguard publication of January 23, 2021, this year. Only 2 months ago. Nothing happened to them. Only the Fulanis can lay claim to land that doesn't belong to them, and nobody will say anything. When you try to respond, they come against you. And your average foolish Nigerian who cannot reason properly, they're not educated very well, I'm sorry to say, will side with the oppressor. It's only in Nigeria where the victim becomes the accused. You came into Olo, Hope Uzodinma tried to give you land in Olo to build a Fulani settlement, and we said no to it. That's all. To talk about Olo crisis. And now they're trying to blame IPAB, they're trying to blame Eastern Security Network. But all of you are aware of the fact that Nigeria Army and Nigeria Police are essentially Fulani Janjaweed terrorists in uniform. The newspapers, all the articles, everywhere, the national discourse is replete with instances of Fulani being supplied by the military, as you're going to listen to later on. But nothing happens. When you try to fight back, you become the victim. And we are saying we are fed up of being victims. We can no longer be victims anymore. If you kill us, we will kill you. I'm saying it live on video, so you can share the video all over the world if you want. If you come to our land to kill us, we will kill you. As simple as that. It may take us some time, but eventually we'll overwhelm you. Well, in the end, we always win. As I warned them in Benue, we are in Benue. In all of our communities in Benue State, and we're not living there until we are certain that the lives and properties of our people there are firmly secured. Any day we learn to stop blaming the victims, this world will be a better place. I'm directing these very statements to the US Ambassador, to the UK High Commissioner, to the EU presence in the zoo, and the UN as well. I know all of you will do nothing. We are not Muslims, so you're not going to help us. That's obvious. We know that for sure. But we have something that you do not have. We have the grace, the might, and protection of God Almighty in heaven. And we know that God exists. And as long as He liveth, as my name is Nnamdi, my Redeemer liveth, as long as God lives in heaven, all of you can never triumph against us. Ojukwu said it before, and you said he failed. We know why he failed, because God said the time wasn't right. I want to show them, my children, what is called Biafra, that very kingdom. They have to fight their way into it. If that is the option you leave for us, then by all means, we will oblige you. But Biafra must come, or we all die. It's as simple as that. There is no alternative. People must understand the rage that is boiling within us. You must understand how angry we are. We may look normal to you, but we are very, very angry, believe you me. And by the time we are done with Nigeria, the name won't exist. That I can assure you. You people are now beginning to see the type of madness that we are capable of unleashing. And more is coming. And I do not hide it, because you hate us anyway. This conspiracy against Biafra, for no reason, we've done nothing wrong to anyone. But you despise us and you hate us. You want us to die because God gave us oil and gas. You want to take over our land. It's not going to happen. And we're not apologizing or begging anybody to please read this letter. They are raping our women. They raped our women. Did you do anything about it? They went to the UK High Commissioner. They were telling them, oh, we can't do anything about it. Rape victims. But you're doing something about defending Fulani. You are defending Fulani. But rape victims in front of you cannot defend them. And you're neutral. And you want Nigeria to continue. So you want me to stay in a Nigeria where my women will be raped every day. Nobody will do anything about it. And I'll be clapping for you. One Nigeria, I'll be clapping for you. Check it, mad people everywhere. People are insane. You want me to stay in a country where the Fulani police and soldiers can come and take our women, rape them anyhow they like. Even before they release them, the charger. Do you know how much we have spent? We have spent nearly 9 million naira to secure the release of people who were abducted and raped, victims of state crime. Britain didn't say anything. UN never uttered a word. EU nothing. US nothing. And you want me to be in that country? I think some people are mad. Very, very insane indeed. If you do not believe in what we are doing, then you better get out. We're not going to stop. God knows we can never stop until Biafra is restored. We are peace-loving people. We abhor death and killing of another soul. It's in our nature, that's how we are. But because of that, they have been coming and killing us all these years. We've kept quiet. They've been killing and killing and killing quiet. We have a case at the ICC. We have a case at Africa Union. We have a case at, what else again? Pending before the UN in New York. We've been to Geneva to tender our case. Before UN, till today, nothing. In fact, the more we complain to them, the more they come to abduct and rape our children, the more they come to kill us, the more they want to take over our land and our forests. And who told them that's going to be possible in our time? In a time, in a movement that I lead, you think you can come into our land and take it over? Oh dear. That means you don't know who we are. 30 pastors arrested for doing nothing. Have you heard about any imams being arrested in the north? No. Do you want me to stay in one Nigeria with you after this level of injustice? Is that what you think? No, it is not going to happen. Not now, not tomorrow. There are two things plaguing them in the zoo: lies and deceit. If not for the coming of IPOB, of Radio Biafra, all of you would have lived and died in the ignorance that Ojukwu caused a war. That's what they were writing. Britain helped them to write it. Ojukwu was a rebel, a secessionist, because we had no media. That is why they're paying Facebook billions upon billions of US dollars to stop this truth from coming out. Did Ojukwu cause any war? Go on is alive, go and ask him. Did Ojukwu cause any war? Ojukwu went and negotiated restructuring with you in Aburi. You came back. Britain told you not to agree because Britain realized that all the component units of Britain knows that if you go back to regionalism, you will have economic growth. The country will do very well. But Britain doesn't want it. That was why they even instigated the Nzogwu coup, so-called Nzogwu coup, saying they will bring Awolowo to become the head of state. They knew what was going to happen. They wanted to truncate the economic miracle of Dr. Michael Opara. What I'm telling you are fast. Go and investigate for yourself. In the East, you had the fastest growing economy in the whole world, over 40% every year. In the West, Awolowo was performing his own miracle as well. Even in the North, Ahmadu Bello and Tafawa Balewa were doing very well. You had all those massive industries in the North. You even had Alamajiris that were employed in the North, meaningfully employed, gainfully employed. They were all doing very well. Britain said, no, for us to control these people, we need to impoverish them. Let us introduce this war. There was a coup by Nzogwu. And after that, there was the massacre of, as usual, massacre of our people in the North. Ojukwu said, I have to secure my land and my people. They said, no, let's go to Aburi to discuss it. Ojukwu went to Aburi and agreed restructuring. That's something now you're asking for. To tell you how foolish Nigerians are. They're very foolish. That same nonsense you're asking for now was discussed many years ago. Ojukwu sat down in Aburi with Gowon and decided that regionalism was the best way forward. Restructuring, going back to who you were, 1963 Constitution, 1960-1963 Constitution. Be on your own and pay tax to the central government, as they have in America, as they have even in Britain. Britain, you have Scotland that is almost independent. Wales, the same thing. Everybody is free. But Britain doesn't want the same thing they're enjoying to happen in Nigeria. Why? Ask yourself that question. Anybody telling you about one Nigeria is your enemy, I'll prove it to you now. Ojukwu negotiated devolution, regionalism. The North will be on their own, the West on their own, even Middle Belt on their, Midwest on their own, and then the East on their own. It's the same one Nigeria. On their way to the airport, before they boarded the aircraft, a call came from Lagos, from the British High Commissioner in Lagos to Gowon, telling Gowon not to agree. After having signed the agreement, that same Gowon you're looking at today, God kept me alive so that he can witness the destruction he will bring upon that very zoo called Nigeria. Gowon said no. Do you know all the journalists in Nigeria, none of them have ever gone to Gowon to ask him, why did you say no to Aburi? Aburi was restructuring. None of those agitating for restructuring right now has ever gone to Gowon or gone to Nigeria to say, but Ojukwu negotiated restructuring. What happened? They came back and they said no. Ojukwu said, okay, so you want to continue to kill my people all over the place? No. Because of that, I'll declare Biafra. Today, they have brainwashed all of you with the perverse notion and thinking that somehow Ojukwu is responsible for causing a war, when opposite is the case. If not now, that after many years of hammering on this very topic, it has now sunk into the skull of the people that Gowon was the aggressor, not Ojukwu. That's how Nigeria is, always blaming the victim. And we lost over 5 million people during that very genocidal war. They killed over 5 million Biafrans. They wanted to wipe us away from the face of this very earth. But we survived it, and we are here today. Those they gave birth to, they have come. And this time with a wrath that you cannot even begin to imagine. And Biafra must come. It must come. Two things are bothering the zoo right now. You know, when God wants to destroy a nation, it comes in many ways. One, Buhari is dead. They brought in a fake. It is now dawning on the people very slowly that there is no more Buhari. People are now beginning to realize it. What I find astonishing are people that they claim are stakeholders in the zoo, those who should know better, those who should be, should I say, lead this very campaign to uncover the truth. They're all running away, they're all hiding. Do you know why they're hiding? Because the people talking about a late dead Buhari are those that oil and gas comes from their region. And they all think that they need oil and gas to survive. That is why they're all quiet. If not that Dino Malaya came out a few days ago, of course Obasanjo said it, even Aisha Buhari said it, but the husband is dead. They all pretended as if they didn't know. And we know that Buhari is dead. And when that very issue erupts the way and manner it would, later on in the coming weeks and months, the zoo cannot contain the fallout. That is number one. Number two is that everybody keeps talking about there seems to be no government, there is no direction because Buhari is not there. That is why you have no direction. That is why the country seems to be drifting. That is why there is no sense of purpose, no cohesion, because there is no Buhari. So what you have are competing interests and ideas from the Fulani cabal that is ruling the zoo, ruling all of you. You know that little boy is not Buhari, everybody knows that. How many Buharis are you going to have before you begin to reason and begin to think? When I said it, they said it was conspiracy theory, and I said with time, today people are coming out to confirm what we have always known. What we have always known, that Buhari is dead. That is why you have what is called a drift in the government. That is why there is no clear focus, there is no clear-cut direction, not at all. If not that I talked about Aisha Buhari in my last broadcast, I wouldn't have brought her out today to speak. And she only issued a statement. Nobody saw her. She's in Dubai having fun with her boyfriend, your first lady. And I asked them, in whose reign or regime in Nigeria or anywhere else in the world do you have a first lady missing in office? Only in Nigeria. But you as a Nigerian cannot ask any questions because of the way you reason. The problem you have as a Nigerian is in your brain. The way you reason is flawed. Ask yourself this question. If this woman's husband is alive, what is she doing in Dubai? And with who in Dubai? Simple question. But you can't ask yourself that question because you're a Nigerian. Sometimes you don't reason very well. It is not meant to be an insult. I'm just telling you the fact of life. Buhari is no longer alive. The various Fulani groups within, some are sponsoring terrorists from all over the place to come to your land to kill you. And you want to be in the same country with the same people that imported terrorists to come to kill you. I don't understand it. You see, I am struggling to understand how some of you reason. They call themselves your patrons. They say you are Nigerians. Is that correct? Why would a fellow Nigerian go outside to the Sahel to pay people to come to kill you? They are fellow Nigerian. And after killing you, they say that those murderers and killers are now entitled to live in your forests and in your farmlands. Are all of you okay at all? Because I am struggling to understand how you people reason. The reason why I'm saying this is this. The gullible ones amongst you are the ones they are deceiving. They are deceiving all of you. And for some perverse reason, you tend to fall for it. But we have not fallen for it. And wonders shall never end. You saw the little boy that they were giving, they said they're giving him COVID-19 vaccine. And I ask you in all honesty, there are pastors and truth tellers and men of God, I believe, in Nigeria. Look at the hand of that boy. You've seen the pictures and the videos everywhere. Is that the hand of an 80-year-old man? How can all of a sudden Osibajo is now older than Buhari? Look at the videos and look at the pictures. At this point, I begin to ask some of you, are you sure that your brain is working? Your brain cells is working? People say, oh, it is a conspiracy theory. All these things that you're saying about these people, and I'm saying to them, have you not seen the picture of Osibajo taking the so-called vaccine or malaria injection? I don't know. Look at the man they claim is Buhari. Look at his hand. Is that the hand of an 80-year-old man? Is Buhari richer than Bill Gates? Is Buhari richer than George Soros? George Soros is richer than the whole of Nigeria. Bill Gates, the same thing. So if it is money that caused this very old dying man to now turn into a 35-year-old man, how come Bill Gates cannot do it? Or George Soros? Or even Queen Elizabeth for that matter? If they claim that the treatment that Buhari received that made him look this young was administered in London, the Queen is the Queen of England, the Queen of United Kingdom. Why wouldn't she go through the same treatment? Why not? Why wouldn't Prince Philip go through the same treatment and become young again? And that is how Nigerians and black people reason that give me cause for concern. If we continue this way, we can never ever build nor have any viable society, all of us together. And that is why it is very, very critical and very, very important that we do that which is right before God and man. And stop this one from deceiving us. You are every head of state that took a vaccine all over the world. After taking the vaccine, they addressed their people. They spoke to the nation. Why is it that this one wearing an oversized face mask, of course on top of Buhari, hyper-reality face mask, could not utter a word? Can't you ask yourself that question? He came to take his vaccine. Go and look at other heads of state. They take their own vaccine in public and they speak. This one is like a mannequin. He comes out, you wheel him out, and they do something and he goes back in again. That tells you that Buhari is no longer alive. Buhari is in a shallow grave in Saudi Arabia. He's dead. And that is why they're in a hurry. That is why this governor can say, I will not listen to Asorok. That governor will say, let's bring in more bandits, let's settle them. That is why the government is disjointed and dysfunctional. Nobody is in charge. Obasanjo knows that nobody is in charge. I think he said that he may not agree that it's a Buhari double, but that the Buhari now in Asorok is not the one he used to know. How else do you want him to put it? He's been very prominent. He wants Nigeria to survive so that him and his friends can continue to enjoy oil money. That's all. Oil money. That's nothing more, nothing less. Just oil money. Just oil money. So they can continue to enjoy oil money flowing from Biafra land. That's all. Not that they love you. Not that they love one Nigeria. Of course not, they don't. Nobody does. These are the things that you ought to know, and that's what we're telling you this very day. The time now is 7 minutes to the top of the hour, regardless of where you're all over the world. That tells you that we are live and we are direct, and this very gospel is coming to you so that you may change, you may have a change of heart. You may have a change of way of reasoning. Where is your first lady, Aisha Buhari? Where is she? She is not in the country. For how many months now? For how many months, I ask of you? You claim you're a human being. When a white person is racist towards us, we start complaining. We don't like racism. But when they see the way we reason, they cannot help but be racist towards us. Can you believe that you have a country like the USA and Biden's wife decides to disappear for 2, 3, 4 months? You think Americans will keep quiet? You think that in a time of national crisis of COVID-19 pandemic and the ceaseless and endemic insecurity, you cannot even hear from somebody you claim is your president? And this was a man that when Youth Corpus visited him sometime in 2016, or was it in 2015, in his house in Katsina, he spoke against me, IPOB and Biafra agitation. Without prompting, you think such a man will keep quiet in the face of what is going on right now? They all know. Wole Soyinka is a liar. They all know that Buhari is dead. Obasanjo is a liar, they know he's dead. Ojukwu and all the rest of them, all liars and deceivers, they know the idiot is dead. But all of you will keep deceiving yourselves, and that is why the Fulanis are killing you every blessed day. And when you rise up to fight against them, they become headers. When they attack you, they're headsmen. When you retaliate, they become headers. We don't want them in our land. The death of Buhari and the relentless drive of the Janjaweed to conquer everybody else will make Nigeria a worse place than Somalia. And it's written. None of you can stop it. It doesn't matter how much you dialogue. It doesn't matter what you do. God have marked out Nigeria for destruction for what they did to his children. And all of you witness it. So that at the end of this very process, when Biafra comes, you give praise to God and to God alone and not to man. That's why we are here. To let you understand that the coming of Biafra is God's design, not that of man. Not mine, not anybody else's. But that the time has come. We must stand very tall, very strong, and very resolute. I'm sure all of you have heard what Dino Malaya said. You have heard about that the president is in transition or transmission. I don't think he's in transition. Because his body is in Saudi Arabia. He's not buried in Daura, not yet. His body is there. And that's why Aisha is upset with them. Aisha packed her things and went to UAE to live there. Because she told them, bring back the body of my husband, give him a befitting burial. They said no. They want to use the name of Buhari to conquer the rest of Nigeria. That's what they have done. But they have failed. And failed very, very woefully at that. And that is why this very truth must continue to be preached. If you have not seen it, go to my page. I think it is there. What did Malaya say? But I want to play what a particular man said. And then I want to showcase the foolishness of your average Nigerian, the foolishness of Bishop Coker. I want to let the world understand how foolish a Nigerian is. Not from me, but I want all of everybody to listen to this very, very carefully, please, and tell me if Nigerians are not stupid. Listen.
We have a confession that the media has not given appropriate attention.
Yes, what is that?
Kawu Baraje
Alhaji Kawu Baraje
was a leading chieftain of the APC.
Yes.
And he has confessed that they imported the foreign mercenaries who have become bandits.
APC imported foreign mercenaries. Baraje said it. Confessed.
What more evidence?
What evidence do you need?
He has confessed that they imported them for the elections.
Yes.
This is public. Why is the media not following up?
Because Nigeria is corrupt.
Why are we not asking for accountability?
They can't act because Nigerians are not intelligent.
So it seems very clear to me and to so many others. If you're in the public space, you hear people talking and pointing fingers. The ruling party is the direct sponsor of terrorism and insecurity in Nigeria.
It was an interview granted by a so-called stakeholder in Nigeria. APC, the government, people are joining APC. I don't want to speak against the Holy Spirit. At this point, I begin to say to God, there is no way a black man can be equal to a white man. It's impossible. You are aware. I don't know how to show it. This is the Maison Sahara reporters. I think I'll put it on my page after this. If you go to my page, you'll see it. The man spoke very brilliantly. Nobody has come to counter him. Baraje is alive. He opened his mouth and said, a part of APC said, we are the ones that brought them from the Sahel to come and kill you. They are fellow Nigerians. And after this, you say, I'm a Nigerian. That is why I say that anybody, if once you say you're a Nigerian, you're sick in the brain. I never have regard for you as a human being, because that means you cannot reason. I will play this once again, uninterrupted, so you can hear him very, very well. And I'll start by asking him, I'm not going to ask him what he said. Who is responsible for the insecurity in Nigeria? Who is to blame? Listen.
We have a confession that the media has not given appropriate attention.
Yes. Go ahead. What is that?
Kawu Baraje
Alhaji Kawu Baraje
was a leading chieftain of the APC.
Chief of APC.
He has confessed.
He has confessed, Baraje?
That the foreign mercenaries who have become bandits. Oh, he has confessed. How much more evidence do you need? He has confessed that they imported them for the elections. Oh. This is public. Why is the media not following up? Why are we not asking for accountability? So it seems very clear to me and to so many others. If you're in the public space, you hear people talking and pointing fingers. The ruling party is the direct sponsor of terrorism and insecurity in Nigeria. My name is Martin Onobo. I said it.
Martin Onobo.
APC is the direct sponsor of insecurity and terrorism in Nigeria. Ask me for the evidence. Good. I just gave you confession of Kawu Baraje.
Kawu Baraje, his confession is number one. Evidence. Number two, evidence.
Miyetti Allah made a public statement that if you want peace in your state, don't call any meeting. Provide land for Fulanis in your state.
Ultimatum from visitors.
Miyetti Allah.
From terrorists.
Miyetti Allah is a collaborator with the ruling party.
Miyetti Allah.
We had a report that the ruling party funded Miyetti Allah to the tune of 100 billion.
You say that?
I wasn't there when the payment was made, but that's in the public domain.
One Nigeria.
An official report that the government of Nigeria was going to establish a radio station.
Radio station for Miyetti Allah, a terrorist group.
In collaboration with Miyetti Allah. We are Fufude, the Fulani tribal dialect, will be the language of communication.
Do you understand it? Now they were saying this is for Fulani people, sorry, for Hausa people. You know, all these years when they were conquering you, Hausa, they said Hausa Fulani, we are Hausa Fulani. But now they feel they have taken you over. Now they feel that they are at the cross of their conquest of Nigeria. They are now floating a radio station, no longer in Hausa language, but in their native Fulani language, Fufude. What does that tell you? As an average Nigerian, I wonder when, maybe there's something in the cow. You know, they have sex with cows and after that they sell it to us and we eat. Maybe that is when they succeed in hypnotizing us. The interviewer was asking for evidence. Let me now give you the evidence. It was us that translated this evidence. Now it's all over the place. It's gone viral. Now let us hear from the mouth of the Fulani terrorist that the APC brought into Nigeria. Let us hear from them.
Idan ba gwamnati ta daure man wanda yake cikin daji ya ta'addanci ba Allah ubangiji ya tsine ma Allah dauki rayuwa ta a wurin nan.
Listen, it's in Hausa.
Allah ce saniya aka san shi da ita sai noma. Saniya ba ta haifa bindiga AK-47.
AK-47.
Bahilla ce bai da makera da zai kera bindiga AK-47.
AK-47.
Gwamnati ke turowa har muka samu. Mu kuma wallahi dalilin da ya sa billahi lazi shekara na bakwai ina makarantar allo. Amma lokacin da na dawo na tsinci kaina a cikin wannan abun wallahi ina mamaki kullum ina tunanin rayuwata.
If I'm lying.
Saboda mahaifana akalla a kasar dan banga da su.
What did this man say? I will translate for you. It's on my Twitter. I don't know if it's on my Facebook page. That is why, because of these things, that is why Facebook is busy blocking, banning, suspending people. What did this man say? I'll take off my glasses to read. This man said, I swear to the Almighty Allah, that is the government, the same APC government that our brother was talking about earlier, that gave us arms. I am saying this for people that believe in one Nigeria. That is why I'm... Who are they? Who created this Nigeria? Who created these people that cannot reason very well? Let me read what this man said. I swear to the Almighty Allah, that is the government, that is APC government, so-called Buhari government, that is giving arms to us. Fulani don't know what gun is. We are only headsmen. Cows don't give birth to guns. I swear to Allah, we are on our own, and the government gave us AK-47. I am not afraid to say the truth. Bishop Coker, are you listening? All of you idiots that believe in one Nigeria, are you listening? You morons, monkeys. All of you who are being deceived by this multicultural, multi-ethnic garbage, can you listen? The government that you are hoping to save you are the ones giving arms to those who have come to kill you. And you get up tomorrow morning and you say, believe in one Nigeria. That was why when Ozo 1 was under attack, that was why when these people, they gave guns to attack Nimbo, Ifani Ugwani called the Enugu State governor, called Buhari many times. Buhari ignored his calls. Ugwani called the commander of the 2 division. No one took his call. He called the commissioner of police for Enugu. No one took his call. But anytime IPOB is having meeting, you come and start shooting people. But when the same people were under attack by those that they are sponsoring, they were nowhere to be found. Is that a type of country? Is that the type of country you wish to belong to? Let's be honest about everything. If this insecurity were being caused by a group of disgruntled Fulani businessmen, you can understand. If this insecurity were being caused by a group of, say, very retarded Fulani politicians, of which there are many of them, I can understand. But insecurity is being caused by the government itself, the APC government. Our brother said it here, and you think he's lying. The people that they get, do you know where they said that? In front of Sheikh Gumi, Abubakar Gumi. He went to the forest to go and meet the bandits, and the bandits told him it was the government that gave us the guns. We don't know what guns are until they gave it to us. That's why I asked you, if they are coming all the way from Mali and from Niger, how did they cross the border with guns? If you claim that those that are raising us are from Niger Republic, so you don't have customs and immigration in the north anymore? Or because you see yourselves as one people, so there is no border patrol, no border policing, nothing. But you have closed the border now for nearly a year and a half. So the border is closed. And you're from the south and you're shouting one Nigeria. Do you see the depth of your foolishness? Can you see it? When I say it, it's not out of hatred. People say, oh, I don't like his style of agitation, because I tell you the truth. A governor said, the governor of Bauchi State, we are bringing in Fulanis. We are coming to settle Fulani in Nigeria. He said it, he wasn't hiding. We are coming to settle Fulani in your land, in your villages. Do you know why that is possible? Because you believe in one Nigeria. If you are on your own, nobody can try it. It's called an act of war or invasion. But Fulani is carrying out an act of war and invasion into your territory because you are under one Nigeria. So in other words, they are using, Nigeria is providing them a cover to carry out a conquest of an entire, should I say, ethnic nationalities across the zoo. Is it clear to you now? Do you now understand what we are saying? Bishop Coker is afraid. He's from Sokoto, he's a minority. So he thinks that when Nigeria breaks up, Fulani will swallow them alive. But I want to tell them that we are all students of history. There is a group of, or there were a group of people called the Huguenots from France. during the height of Reformation, they were being persecuted by the French authorities who were Catholic. People don't know that Roman Catholic fought with Anglican Church in those days. People don't know this, but that's life. Do you know what happened? Britain, being a Protestant nation, offered amnesty or struck a deal with France to say, give me all your Protestants. We'll absorb them. They're called the Huguenots. And they came to Britain. That is where the lives of Sir Peter de la Billière is a French name, but his family settled in England. He rose to become a general and led the war in the Desert Storm. It was him that commanded the British forces in the Desert Storm. His ancestors were French, the Huguenots. So what I'm saying to Bishop Coker and all northern Christian minorities today is this: on my honor and on my life, I swear before God Almighty in heaven that with the coming of Biafra, every Christian northerner will be allowed to settle in Biafra land. So you see, Bishop Coker, you have nothing to be afraid of. You have a place where you can practice your faith without looking over your shoulder all the time, thinking who's coming to kill me. You will come to Biafra land and you will live there a very peaceful, fulfilled life in Biafra land. The same thing that the English did for the French Protestants, they're called the Huguenots. The same thing we are going to do for you. If you feel that you're threatened in the Sharia core north, and because of that you think that having the East and the West in one Nigeria will save you as some kind of insurance against elimination by the crazy, mad Fulani Janjaweed, you will come to Biafra land. We will give you asylum. You will stay there. Your generations will live and thrive. We are accommodating people. We welcome visitors. Then you will see what Biafra is like in real life, not the miserable existence you have in Sokoto. You want to stay in a country where people are threatening your life because you spoke. You said your mind and they're threatening you. What I'm offering you is what happened in England, though. The same England telling you to talk about one Nigeria. There was a time that the lives of French Protestants were under threat in France. England said, give them to us, we'll take them. They were all sent to England. They are called the Huguenots. We offer you the same asylum today to Bishop Coker and to all endangered northern Christians. You can all come to Biafra. We will accommodate you gladly. Gladly. I'm saying this live on air, so if I renege on this, you know, they said the internet never lies. They can go back and dig up this very video and say he said this on the 8th of March 2021. So you can come to us. This is the reason why everywhere the Janjaweed are dealing with us. They always come to your village and appoint one person as somebody. You know, one thing about you people is this: you always think that tomorrow is going to be better. But in Nigeria, tomorrow never ever gets better. Instead, it gets worse. And we are offering you a way out. People were asking for confirmation that Nigeria Army and police are colluding with Fulani terrorists. You know, it was on this platform that I called for OPC to take over from Amotekun. And thankfully they have taken over. And there are results. I think earlier yesterday, or was it today, the OPC arrested a Fulani warlord. You know, for us, we don't have time for arrest. We arrest you, of course, and then I think they handed him over to police. When we arrest you, we hand you over to God. God will judge you. They arrested a Fulani warlord, Wakili. Handed him over to police. Police took him to hospital. The same police in Biafra land, they will shoot innocent IPOB family members if they go to hospital and abduct them and the doctor and send them to Abuja to be locked up. Do you understand that? That is what they have been doing. I don't know who is calling me. I don't know what for. It's not an interactive session, so don't call me. They came to Olo, they went to Anambra, they shot people, they took them to Abuja took the doctor as well, treating them to Abuja. In the West, they apprehended a terrorist, they killed a murderer, a rapist, a bandit, handed the bandit over to the police. The police took him to hospital for treatment, specialist hospital. What other evidence do you need that the police and the army are colluding with those that they imported to come and kill you? And you wake up in the morning and you say you're a Nigerian. Are you not ashamed of yourself? Don't you have any shame within you? God Almighty in heaven, I've never seen people as daft and as foolish as this. They took him, he was arrested by OPC. You know what they said? Those that arrested this man, he said, or your police are sures of diligent prosecution of suspected criminals. The criminals now are the OPC men that arrested the bandit. Nigeria is astonishing. You arrested a rapist, a mass murderer, a killer, and a land grabber. Took him to the police. The police now arrested you. Took the man to hospital. Beat you, all of you up, and put you in the cell. They say police is your friend. Anyway, I thank God that there are some these guardian angels that came. I don't know where they came from. They are called unknown gunmen. I don't know where they came from. Maybe they are the spirit of all those killed by the police and the army, and they are avenging the death of the people that the police and the army killed. They are called unknown gunmen. I don't know who they are. I don't know where they come from, but they are fighting for the poor. They are like Robin Hood, but in this case, they are not robbing the poor, the rich to pay the poor. No, they are robbing the criminals, the murderers of their own lives, murderers in the police and the army. People don't know what is coming, do they? They have no idea. I feel sorry for the zoo. They have no idea. Any day that all of you gang up to support your own Nigeria garbage, the more you're digging your collective graves. Nigeria can never ever be fixed. It's broken beyond repair. Can never be fixed. Look at Sultan of Sokoto talking rubbish. The spiritual leader, whatever rubbish he is of the zoo. Sultan of Sokoto, that he was in the army. That war is not good. But you Fulanis are the ones living war on everybody. You took over the whole of Plateau. You came down into Benue. Your people were at Ozo 1 massacring people. Then you never talked about war. As soon as we rose up and said enough is enough, now this war language starts to come into your lips. Do you think we are foolish? Do you think go and bring all the BBCs of this world, every propagandist for neo-colonialists, gang them, bring them together against Biafra agitation? You're wasting your time. Bring them against ESN, you're wasting your time. Arrest all you like. But I'm just warning them, if you're a policeman involved in the arrest of innocent people, all I need to do is to go down on my knees and pray and ask God, please, may unknown gunmen locate you and they will find you. Because God answers my prayers. So all those police stations involved in all this raid know that your turn is coming. It's only a matter of time, it will come. Since you want anarchy, you will get anarchy. Since that is what you want. You people, you don't like people that play it gently by the rules. No, not in the zoo. That is how you have been taking over our land, raping our women, abducting us and killing us. We came out at Mpo, you killed us for no reason. Shia people came out at Abuja, you shot them for no discernible reason. And all of you saw soldiers with live bullets killing people in broad daylight. No major news outlet carried it in the world. They've bribed all of them. I'm saying it on camera. And I wish that the US Congress can call me to testify. The American ambassador, that woman took bribe from Nigeria. Nigeria bribes every ambassador that comes to Nigeria. They give you loads of money, so you will never report what is happening in Nigeria. You don't know that? I'm saying it live on camera. I wish they can call me in America, come and testify. I will do so. The British High Commissioner is as corrupt as the devil. That woman. She was the one that was responsible for the murder at Lekki.
All right. So you have seen it. Anyway, drop your comment on the comment section. We discuss at the comment section. If I see any comment, I'll try as much as possible to respond to it, all right? Thank you very much. I'll see you in my next video. God bless you.